So our garden's been a little bit behind schedule this year, but we finally got to go out and pick some of our first pickling cucumbers the other night, and I'm pretty excited. That's one thing that comes out of our garden I look forward to the most each year. So this recipe I'm sharing with you guys is it has a very similar taste to kind of the Claussen, store-bought type pickles with that real nice kind of snap. These are refrigerated pickles. They're not like canned pickles where they can kind of sit out in the shelf for a long period of time. But they do have a very similar taste. I think if you were after kind of a true clone of like a Claussen pickle, kind of looking at the label of a container, it shows that they have red pepper in there and they have mustard seeds, which is something we generally don't grow in our garden, so they don't kind of find their way into the pickle. So for the jars, we don't use anything too fancy. A lot of times we just try to reuse kind of store-bought pickle containers that we've kind of collected over the years or kind of pick up at kind of group parties and stuff when people bring pickles. Part of the reason for that is we just generally don't like to use up a bunch of our mason jars when we don't really kind of need it for this. So we try to save those for kind of other harvest items like green beans and different stuff like that. So the very first thing you do is stuff the bottom of the jar with dill. Sometimes we'll put it on the very top as well, but that really kind of depends on the harvest of dill that we have. So the next two things we're going to add is garlic and onion. What you kind of do is remove all the paper from that and then kind of either dice them up or kind of quarter them up, and then kind of throw them down there in the bottom of the jars. If you're not kind of a big onion fan, you could use white onion. Today we're actually using yellow onion, but white onion definitely has a little bit less of a taste, but I don't think like the onion flavor is very overpowering. I think that the garlic and the onion seem to go really well together. Now it's kind of figuring out how you want to slice them up. We do kind of a variety. We do spears, we kind of do smaller baby pickles, and we also kind of dice them up into kind of like coin shapes. Next we'll fire up the stove and we'll add in 2 quarts of water, 1 cup of white vinegar, and half a cup of canning salt, and then we'll bring that up to a boil. So there you go guys, not a whole lot to it. Now you just leave them out on the counter for about 2 days and then move them into the fridge. They should last somewhere around 9 months. We've definitely eaten them well past that. They just tend to get a little bit more soggy. So, well, that also reminds me, one other quick tip I wanted to kind of share with you guys. Generally when we kind of find those big huge monster cucumbers out in the garden that somehow have been missed all summer long, we usually try to avoid using those when making pickles just because they tend to get a little bit more soggy, or I guess they tend to end up being pretty soggy pickles. So a lot of times what we'll use those for is doing salads or juicing with them, or actually harvesting seeds for next year's garden. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If so, let me know by clicking that thumbs up and subscribing. Thanks for watching.